Hi, I'm Dawn with SunkissCharters.com. We have a private pontoon boat. We do dolphin sightseeing. We have fishing poles, fishing license. We have all of the snorkeling equipment, island hopping. You can bring your own food and your own alcohol. We always have a cooler with chip soda and water on board. $125 an hour, 2-hour minimum. If you like to go to Caladisi Sandbar, it's $400 for 3 hours. And we also have a 42-foot Regal that you can take out in the Gulf of Mexico with your own captain. Come on and make memories with your family and friends. We are pet friendly. SunkissCharters.com, 727-871-7788.
Hi, and we're back with a super special with Captain Tom. You know, I was thinking we could do something like Captain and Tennille, like Captain Tom and
Captain and Dawn,
Captain and Dawn, or Captain and Reese.
Dawn and Captain. Okay.
Welcome to be my co-host today. Yeah. I know you love being on the radio, and it gives you something to do and have fun. Besides, you're always on the boat.
Well, you know, the reason I want to be here is because talk about Sunkissed and to tell people that this is really the experience that, I had a group on the other day and they said, what you do, your business plan, the way you do this is absolutely amazing. The guy said, he goes, he actually wants to be on the radio and talk about their trip.
I think we're going to have a couple call-ins, or who's going to call in at 5:45, one of our guests that we had last week.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's, giving you a chance to really, really get spoiled rotten. And like I said, the guy that was on the other day was absolutely just thrilled with everything. We saw dolphins. They caught fish.
What kind of fish are out there right now on the intercoastal in inland?
All kinds of fish.
I know. I was just saying, like, I heard someone took one home to eat that they enjoyed.
They took a sheep's head, big, nice sheep's head home. But they caught a trout, and there's trout out there. There's reds out there. It depends. I've got some really nice hidden spots that are from exploring.
Right. And you have a metal detector. I bought my husband, Captain Bert, one and a wand that you go out and when you're on the islands. Have you found any treasures out there?
I took a guy out with his kids the other day, and I actually had a metal coin that was in my jewelry box that was from a necklace that I had before the Pirates of the Caribbean coins. And the loop broke off. Mm-hmm. So I asked the guy, I said, anybody want to use a metal detector? And I have a really nice metal detector on board. And the boy was like, yeah. The dad was like, he's always wanted to do that. And as the kids started, I reached in my pocket and I pulled out the coin and I handed it to the dad. I said, bury it in front of him. And the kid found the Pirates of the Caribbean coin. He was all excited.
Oh, my gosh.
But, that's part of it. It's Hulk Hogan said this in Rocky. We were talking about Rocky earlier with the James Brown guy. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Tony. It's all about the show. Mm-hmm. And when you go out on a boat and you're treated, like royalty, and I treat everybody the same.
I get so many people saying 5 stars on Google, Captain Tom. We're requesting to Captain Tom, and it's 5-star Google, 5-star Google. It's amazing how they write me and they tell me how much fun they had, and then they'll call me when they're out of the boat saying, "I don't want to go back. Can I get another hour or 2 hours?" Yeah,
probably about 80% get the extra hour because I always offer them an extra hour. And if they want it, if I don't have a trip right behind them, I'll offer them that.
Right.
Because honestly, they're having too much fun.
Well, we also have a Regal that's going out this weekend. Tell us about that, where it's going.
It is finally done.
Yes.
I've been working on that boat now for 2 years. We just put $10,000 in upholstery on that boat. I mean, literally. Mm-hmm. We put all new electronics. 3D imaging transducers are on there, which is like a sonar device. But most of them are like an inch wide. This is like 3 feet long. This is the one that's on that boat. We had to put a 4-inch hole in the bottom of the boat to get that thing in there.
And you're actually Airbnb at this weekend for the reggae festival.
Yeah. It's the first trip out. It's 2 bedrooms, both with queen beds, full kitchen. It's got a microwave. It's got a stove. It's got pots and pans on board and kitchen utensils. And it's got a refrigerator, freezer. It has everything that you would have at home and more than you'd have in a hotel.
Well, I just booked today. Somebody had called. Family member. They want to take their ashes out to sea,
Okay.
and
There's permitting involved in that.
right. So I wanted to let you know.
Yeah,
people want to know. They're asking me about that. Tell us the rules to that.
Well, I have to get a hold of the city and figure that out before we do.
Is it like 10 miles out or something?
I think it's 3, but I'm going to double check on everything before we do it.
Right.
We really, my sticklers are safety. You know, I have way more safety equipment on those boats than required by Coast Guard. I mean, there's everything on board. We have the best life jackets you can get. We have, I have an orange box. It's called an overboard box. In that thing, I have sat phones. I have EPIRBs, GPSs, dye kits to turn the water orange, flares, hand flares, flare guns. Literally everything, flags.
But that only goes out into the Gulf of Mexico, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. But Gillian Zion was supposed to be a 3-hour tour, and I'm a much better captain than he is.
And we have 2 pontoon boats right now. Now Bert's talking about maybe selling the other pontoon boat and getting another pontoon boat.
I keep trying to talk him into that.
I think he's on that list right now.
I mean, the other one is a great party boat.
It's a 28-foot.
It's a 28-foot. It's a party boat. It's very retro, but the new one is the new 22-foot sport fish that we have. It's got 2 live wells on it to keep your bait alive.
Oh, wow.
That pull the water out of the ocean. And
it has what is the trolling finder? What is that?
Oh, it's a trolling motor. It actually, when you're fishing and you put the motor in, it has a built-in GPS I have a remote that I can put that it won't move. The boat won't move without an anchor. The trolling motor will keep it in that spot. So,
I gotcha. I know my son's texting me saying, "Hey, Mom, you have charters this weekend? I want to go out on the boat." Eric and Heather. So also too is so we have chip soda and water, complimentary. You can bring your own food and alcohol. You can see all the boats on sunkisscharters.com. We also have a Facebook page. I just did a new one called Sunkissed Charters on Facebook. And so what has been the most memorable for you, Captain Tom, of taking people out? Was it the blind man?
Yeah, but I don't know if I should talk about that one in the
air. Right. You can kind of think of what that one is about.
we fulfilled his dreams.
Yeah.
And it was really a cool moment. Every trip, when I started doing this, I was warned by a lot of captains and stuff that you're going to have people that are snotty on the boat, especially on the mega yachts that I work on with Florida Yacht Life.
Right.
I was told that, and because we get celebrities and sports figures and
That's
things like that on there a lot.
Yeah.
We're talking about a 120-foot mega yacht and then a 75-foot mega yacht, Magic Moments and Star Sapphire. But even with our trips that we do with Sunkissed, it's hanging out with new friends every trip. It's never been, I mean, I have had a couple of people who were kind of standoff, snotty in the beginning, but by the end of the trip, they were my best friend. And like a lot of them are friends of mine on Facebook. They follow me on Facebook. But I want to get back to the Regal real quick because I am so proud that it's finally done. This boat, it has 1,000-watt Rockford Fosgate amp and stereo system. It's got Rockford Fosgate speakers that light up.
TV set? 2
TV sets. There's one in the front cabin and one in the main cabin area. On the main cabin area, I have it connected with Roku, so they can sit and watch their YouTube or whatever they want to watch while they're sitting on the boat. The front one's a TV with a regular antenna built in.
So when they go to the St. Petersburg dock this weekend for the reggae festival that's renting out the boat, do they just jump on their Wi-Fi? Is that how that works?
Or you can use the hotspot on your phone.
Okay.
Because like I tie in the hotspot on the phone every now and then. But I guess they have a really nice marina with a pool and a hot tub, and they're not far from the concert, so they can go back and forth and then come back to the boat, hang out. They can fish off the back of the boat if they want. I mean, it's got the lights that turn the water blue, which also attract fish, the lights of the water.
Oh, nice. They can fish in the back.
So they can fish off the back. If somebody had dive equipment and they wanted to go scuba diving, I can take them out to the reef. I know where it is.
Oh, wow.
We'll do whatever they want with it. But if you want a luxury, as a date to go out on a boat, and especially a 42-foot Regal, this is a yacht. And you could look at our site, right? You have the videos up on our site?
I do. I'm putting another one up as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we take that boat out, and I'm dressed in my whites just like I am now, and we pull up to, say, Island Way Grill, okay? And there's a dock, and people eat right in front of that dock. And you pull up, and the captain gets off, helps you get off the boat, and he stays with the boat. And the boat's all lit up, especially at night. And the water's blue behind it, and the music's playing when you pull up, and you get off. Everybody's head at the restaurants, whatever restaurant you go to. There's another one. What was the one we went to down in towards Indian Rocks? They had a nice dock. It started with a C. Cabbies?
Yes.
Cabbies.
I think so.
And, we pulled up with the sailboat, I think. And everybody's head just turns, because especially when I'm in whites and I get you off the boat and I bring you back on the boat, everybody looks like, that's got to be somebody.
Yeah.
That's got to be somebody. That's a beautiful boat.
Yeah.
And they have a captain. Are you kidding me? It's just such
it's the experience that you give to everybody, with the pontoon boat, which is amazing. We found another little island. We're not going to tell you because it's kind of like your secret island.
It's Hidden Beach. Lena named it Hidden Beach.
Oh, I like that.
And it's getting, it's getting around. It's Hidden Beach.
Yeah.
It's another paradise. I was talking to one of the customers, and they said, well, what are we going to do next year? And I said, listen, I have like 20 different trips. And when I sit you down in the beginning of the boat and I explain to you the way the boat works, and the way the boat works for the Coast Guard or police or any other authority that were to pull us over, if any ever did, and they have not in 5 years, okay, knock on wood. But
because they're random out there.
For them, it's a charter, and they have to deal with me as the charter captain. So you tell them flat out it's a charter.
Right.
I say the way the boat works for you guys is I do a lot of captain for hire work, where other people just want to kick back, sit, drink, not worry about driving, not worry about getting stuck on a sandbar that doesn't know the waterways where they're going or where to go. And they'd rather have a captain drive. That's what I do. It's your boat. Everything on that boat is there for you to use. I have sand toys for kids. I have a metal detector like we talked about earlier. And a lot of times I'll hide a treasure. We actually have a treasure chest that we can bury on the island. And somebody had inquired because they want to put the wedding ring inside the treasure box, and the lid, they wanted to say, will you marry me, when she opens it.
Oh, that's cool.
And when they find it, and we'll make the old fashioned maps with coffee, on the paper and stuff to make them look like a pirate. And I'll block it out when I bury it. And, but he has to get down on one knee to help her once they find it, to pull the chest out of the ground. So he's already on a knee. And then they open up the chest, and they get to keep the chest too.
See, we've had people inquire, I'm want to get engaged. I want to do something special, memorable.
Yeah. Can you imagine going on a treasure hunt and you find it looks like a real treasure chest. And it's filled with fake jewels and stuff like that. Even there's a little tiara in there and stuff like that. I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah.
And then the wedding ring sitting on top. Or for somebody's birthday and the kids wanted to do it, and you wanted to put like a Nintendo Switch in there or something.
Oh, right.
We'll bury it on the island for you, and before you do the trip, and then when they find it, they get their present.
Well, tell us also, the island hopping, but what I enjoy too is summer's coming up, and people like to stay on an island and maybe camp out. Tell us how that experience.
Well, what we do for that is we take them out in like the pontoon. Okay, we would set up the tent, the bathroom. We'd set up, and we actually have a bathroom on the pontoon. It's a collapsible kind of tent thing, and we put the toilet in it. But if somebody had to use it and wanted privacy, they have it. Right. But we'll put one of those on the island. We'll put the shower there, the air mattresses, the table, the chairs, the bonfire, the grill if you'd like it. And then we'll leave you with a little 12-foot inflatable dinghy with a little 3.5 horsepower on it. That has lights on it, that if you want to go around at night, if you know how to boat, you can drive that thing around. It's not real hard. And you could fish, or you could go to dinner over. Like there's an island called Cherry Island that's right across from Dunedin.
Oh, the trees, the pine trees and everything are beautiful.
Yeah, you could actually camp on the island, but you take the dinghy over for dinner at the bar over there.
And you've done it many times with the family.
Yeah, it's another type of paradise. You see, that's how we kind of got Sunkist going, is we would do this stuff
on our own, right?
And I'd look at Bert your husband. And I
Mm.
go, Birdman, people would pay to do this.
Right.
And he just looked at me, yeah. But people would pay to do it because it's such a unique experience. I mean, the campsite that has the fire pit on Cherry Island faces Caladesi Island. So the sun sets right in front of the campsite.
Mm-hmm.
And then the campsite is hidden really from everybody's view because at night, nobody runs that back way.
Right.
Because there's no channel back there. They run behind the island where you're covered by trees that nobody can see what you're doing on the island.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go and have a camping on the island and you're on your own private island.
Yeah,
That's all I
that's
can
true.
say.
It's amazing for what we offer. And I'm going to text somebody here and find out they're going to call in if they're not. Tell us the experience, like what you think about the new boat comparison to the other boat. What's the difference?
Well, I built the first one with Bert.
Right.
And literally built that boat. We bought an old one. We took it down. We actually put brand new flooring in it, all new electronics, new wiring. And we built it, we're with the new ones today. They really don't treat the wood and stuff. We fiberglassed the wood. We painted the wood. We gelled every hole with a resin gel. And safety wise, it was built very, very well. And the new one just has more of a classy feeling to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys built the other one by hand and by foot. I mean, it took a while to get that done.
Correct. And we had lights on it. It was really nice. Different like disco lights and stuff that would shine on the floor and you could dance at night if you wanted to. But the new one is it's very classy. Beautiful leather upholstery on it. Mm-hmm. And the features of it are pretty cool. The lighting on it's pretty cool. I don't really have to do anything to that boat. It be like I did the other one.
Well, a lot of people are asking me, these are the questions right now. We want to thank Clearwater Beach Trips and Tips because we advertise on them. And we've had some nice cruises and some wonderful people from Jasmine. And she should be here next week on the Ladies Show. But real quick, more or less people want to know, what is the water like? They want to go snorkeling right now. That's a big question that comes in.
Well, I have two spots that I recommend for snorkeling.
But they're also looking, they think like we're Aruba or Jamaica or, they're like, well, it's kind of cloudy. It depends on the weather.
It depends on the wind. It depends on the weather. It depends if it rained, but there's places that you can still go and, like Bird Island. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's a place right off of Bird Island that a lot of the charter boats go to. For snorkeling. It's where I take my kids snorkeling.
Oh, that's where we went. And you cannot get me out of the water in the summertime because you got to feed me.
Well, you can find there, and we found there starfish. We found sea urchins.
Well, I definitely would say wear water shoes.
Yeah, we actually carry water shoes that we wash in Dawn antibacterial soap every trip. But
yeah, they have to think of me every day.
It was one of the things the guy said to me the other day. He left me a huge tip. He said, the fact that you have water socks on here that I don't have to wear my sneakers in the water.
Yeah. And
then get on the plane and they're still going to be wet tomorrow. And the metal detector for the kids and the chips and the cookies and the sodas, because we have the little variety bags of stuff on the boat for people to snack on. He said, you guys go so the extra mile. Having sand toys for the kids and snorkels and masks and fins, and we have everything that you would need on the boat. And that's what design. It's got chairs and umbrellas. So if we go to an island, I put the chairs up for them. I put the umbrella up for them. And they can go explore, the island and
well,
come back
it's not
and sit.
It's not just for people coming in. It's people that live here too. You're getting company that comes into town. You want something super fun to do as well. Now, I'm going to just throw this out there too. I'm working with one of the owners from the Tropics boat. And if you go on their website and you want a bigger cruise with a bunch of people, you can put in Dawn 10 and then that is a code. That
the Tropics is the dolphin boat, right? Yeah. I know their captains are well. They used to hang out at the Rock House when the Rock House was open there. They closed it. Somebody did lease that building, so it's going to be open soon, whatever it's going to be, and I'm going to work something out.
Yeah.
I know the people on that boat pretty well. They know me. We talk almost every day.
Yeah, they've been wonderful. We still pass out when we're doing marketing to help them as well, too. We do have about 10 more minutes left. We have to give a shout out to beaminghope.org. Pastor Joe over there. You've been going there for a while. What do you think of Beaming Hope?
Well, Pastor Joe is more than a pastor to me. He's more like a friend too.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, everything that man has prayed for me has come true. And
I believe
come
that.
to pass. Every single thing. I mean, just the miracles, the way God works through that man is pretty awesome. But he's that New Yorker kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's spiritually crazy, but so am I. So we match up perfectly.
Well, tomorrow on Friday, 3/14 at 6:30 p.m. at 11000 110th Avenue North Largo, they're going, everything is free and everyone is welcome. Gift card giveaways. It looks like food, bounce houses, 6:30 tomorrow.
Are we going to give away a trip tomorrow?
I can ask Captain Bert.
You might have to drop it off.
I'll probably be over that way.
And we can do a 2-hour pontoon.
Yes. And I also want to thank a big shout out to Josh. He's a friend of yours. And I want to tell you, if you're looking for a car place to get some parts, I had on my CRV for a while and I thought it was somebody that stepped on something. And there's the last couple of times it would go, and people say, I think it's a wheel buried, of course, that we had it checked out. And then Drag in Auto. I want to tell you, Josh is amazing. He put that on within 40 minutes. And I've been listening to this noise for the last month and a half. Thank God I got it taken care of. And his number is 727-221-7690. It's called Drag in Auto. And he is an amazing mechanic.
I'll tell you a quick story about Josh. Now, he's like one of my kids. Yeah, I have beach kids, and he's one of them. He's actually one of my beach kids' ex-boyfriend that we became friends. But the Mercedes that I have, okay, there's something with the way that motor is made that oil goes right with the water coolant somehow. It's made like a race motor or something. And man, I took it to Mercedes. They wanted like $6,000 to fix the problem. And I had just bought the car like 3 months beforehand.
And you called Josh.
And I called Josh. And I'll tell you, Josh did it. And, he's the guy that's not going to rip you off.
No, he doesn't. He
doesn't try to upsell you. He doesn't try to do any of that. I think I paid like total with all the parts, and it needed a couple other things that needed to be done. I paid $1,200 versus $6,000. And he knows Mercedes. He's a great diesel mechanic.
Oh yeah, he told me when I gave him the price, he goes, "I can do better than that." And I got to drop off 4 Renaissance tickets tomorrow to him. He's so excited to go.
Well, Kimmy's going to go too. So
good, you got the extra one
with Sherry.
Yeah.
But he does diesel. He does gas. There was somebody on Facebook that the window broke in their car. I don't know if they broke it or somebody broke it, but they needed a window. And they were trying to get a piece of plastic from a plastic place. And I said, call this guy. He can get a window from the junkyard and he'll put it in for you.
Right. I don't know why my phone's going off.
So,
sorry.
But what's the name of his office? I forgot.
Yeah, it's Dragon Auto.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you need a mechanic and you want somebody who's really going to take care of you, Josh will take care of you.
Oh, yeah. That number again is 727-221-7690. I know we have about 6 minutes left. Anything else you want to talk about at the end of anything?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to my nephew coming. He's the one that's renting the boat to the Reggae Fest. So I'm going to go down. We're going to take it down tomorrow. I got to go. There's no marinas around here with fuel.
I know. I didn't know that.
Diesel, none.
You have to get someone to deliver the diesel now.
The ones who did got damaged in the hurricane.
All of the docks, all of the people?
All of the ones that have diesel around this area that I know of, that I called, 20 of them. I mean, I went up north and south looking for diesel on the water.
Yeah, because I know Bert had to fill out a fuel thing for.
Yeah, so we're having a fuel truck delivering tomorrow, which is cool. And the price of the fuel was reasonable, and there's no surcharge. There's a $9.95 environmental fee, I think, for them. But otherwise, they're going to meet us, and we're going to fill the boat up with gas with diesel tomorrow.
So it's about 3 hours over there. Do you think?
Yeah. So okay. I mean, but the trip down there is going to be fun. I'm really proud of the work I've done on that boat. It is really nice. I mean, TJ did the flooring in it, and he did an excellent job. He surprised me.
My nephew, yeah.
Yeah, he my son. What
was that stuff I gave you that I have in the car for you today? What is that?
Oh, that's leather protectant.
Okay.
That's just, we didn't do it as much on the old pontoon as we should have. And this one, it's a conditioner for the leather to keep the leather moist and keep it from drying out. And we keep the boat covered, the seats covered and everything when we're not on a trip. But still, the salt water and stuff really can affect it. So we want to extend the life of that to make it look beautiful as much as possible.
Right. Well, I know you're working on some sponsors trying to get your own show here. I know you've been out there trying to make that happen, called The Next Level.
I'm wheeling and dealing. We have a lot of views on YouTube on the show. I have a lot of people that paid attention. It was really cool to hang out with McGuire Law Office. I had John here. And it was kind of cool because the reason I want to do a show is I want to hang out with my friends on the air. And I never got to hang out with John McGuire ever. And I know his son.
Oh, he accepted my friend's no, he sent me a friend's request. I was like, is that John McGuire?
Yeah.
Like, wow.
His son is one of my beach kids who's an attorney now for him.
Okay.
And so it's a family business now. He has a daughter, I think, that's an attorney too. And
then you had Chris Helton.
I always wanted to hang out with him. With John, and I never got to. So I had a chance, and this is better just hanging out with him in a bar because we seriously got to talk and get to know each other. And then I have Chris Helton. Chris Helton's a rock and roll photographer. He's a celebrity photographer. He's a fashion photographer. He's phenomenal.
I got the Pepsi commercial with Shaquille O'Neal back in the days.
Yeah, the best way to find him, by the way, and I talked about that on my show, so if you get a chance to look on Tan Talk YouTube.
Yes, you go to Tan Talk Radio Network on YouTube. Also, I have to throw out, Lola was very proud of Ed. She said you got to interview Lewis Black, and she was so proud of you. You did a great job.
I heard that, by the way. I was listening to that one. That was cool. Lewis Black is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So that's. Really
I think
cool.
one of the I do have to say something real quick. I think Lewis Black. The one funny thing the two jokes that I got was, my parents lived to be 102 and 104. I love this one. And he said they look like turtles without shells. That was, and then the other one he was talking about, during COVID, all the Pennington stuff with the bike. He said people are on that and moving their energy and getting and then he said, save your energy for when you're older.
You know what I like about Lewis Black is he, even though politically we might not see eye to eye on everything, he speaks from the heart. He believes in what he's saying, and it's common sense talk, and he makes it the point of, he gets angry that people are the way they are.
At first I was like, he's the angry Jewish man.
But he's real.
But he's real.
But he's real. He's talking with his heart.
Yeah, he is.
Very few people talk with their heart.
Yeah.
And he does. So that had to be a really cool interview.
Yeah, Lola was telling me, I thank Lola for that opportunity to go. It was so much fun at the Lewis Black. I enjoyed it so much. And I'm Dawn Reese, and I just want to thank you, everyone. Coming up shows, I just want to say there's a ladies' show. We get together. We just talk about anything. We have more Miracle Story show, more Hollywood Connections. We're so excited that you joined. I have one more minute. I think we'll end with something, maybe whatever you want to. We have a song or not, or or Jimmy Buffett, but thank you, Captain Tom, for being here and my co-host today.
No problem. I had a great time. Always do.
All right. And we'll be back next week. I'm Dawn Reese. Give God all the glory and honor in your life. Watch things happen. Love you. Bye.
Bye.